And we're live.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Sandy the Sandman Robinson. You guys are the first people that are here for a brand new show on Full Metal Media called Full Metal Melting Pot. In this, the very first episode, we're going to discuss a topic that is been important in our week, this coming up week. And this week's topic is Infinity War. We're going to be asking us a certain amount of questions, and we're the panel that I have with us today. We're going to talk about those questions and give our predictions. But let's introduce our panel first. Right off to my far left here on the screens, we've got some faces that you guys are very familiar with. We'll start off with Chance Ellison, the Titan. Mr. Late to the Party, doing his reactions on there and kicking some serious butt. Thanks for joining us today, Chance. How you doing?
Yeah, man, this is when you pitch the show, I'm like, yeah, we got to do this. It's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be a really fun conversational show, which I think is something we are lacking because Full Metal 5, which I do host, plug for myself on this channel. That's still more of a debating show, but this is gonna be fun. I can't wait.
Awesome. Thanks so much. All right, and we'll go on to our next person. He's the co-host of our show, Nostalgia Goggles. He's also, one of our co-hosts for our regular matches. It is the Red Ranger, RJ, Renee Villarreal. How you doing, buddy?
Like I said in Chance's summer preview special, I will literally do anything and everything to keep talking about Infinity War.
Well, guess what? You're going to have a great time today because that's what we're going to be talking about. And last but certainly not least, our editor-in-chief at Full Metal Media. He is the Canadian Nightmare. He is one of the other names that he possibly has, but he will always be Mark. How you doing today, Mark?
Pretty good. Hey, Infinity War, Marvel, my second favorite franchise. Even though I'm wearing a hard DC shirt right now, but still, Marvel kicked ass.
Awesome. Listen, movies are movies. We love movies no matter where they come from, but this week is all about one thing and one thing only, and that is the accumulation of 10 years of Marvel products in the MCU. Starting with Iron Man and accumulating with this coming up Thursday, Avengers: Infinity War. It's we all have our own predictions for this. We're going to get to that in a second, but let's start off with the very first question tonight. The first question we're going to talk about is who's going to lose their Infinity Stone first? Is it going to be Doctor Strange, or do you think that Vision is going to lose his stone first? We'll start off with let's go with Chance on this one.
This is a good question, but I feel like, okay, yeah, these are two people that by the end I think will definitely lose their stones. That looks sexual euphemism, but it's really not. But by the end, I think both of them are going to lose them. No matter which one's going to lose it first, yeah, I think it's going to be Doctor Strange, just because Vision, because of what Vision Stone is, that gets in his head, the fact that like it's implanted in his body, and Thanos, I think it's gotta be like an emotional scene where Thanos has to like rip him apart to get the stone out. Because of that, I think they're gonna save that for later in the movie, and I think Doctor Strange is gonna lose his first.
All right, that's not a bad prediction whatsoever. Let's go over to let's go over to Mark. Mark, what do you think? Who's going to lose their Infinity Stone first between Doctor Strange or Vision?
For the most part, I agree with Chance. Just like in order for the Vision to lose his Infinity Stone, it pretty much is probably going to have to kill him, which you're probably going to have to save that for later. With Doctor Strange, he's got the Time Stone, so he's going. I envision that they're going to do something where he's manipulating time again, and it's defense against Thanos probably, and that or some of his henchmen or anything like that. And I think that's going to be the first sacrificial Infinity Stone that Thanos is going to take away from the Avengers, just because of he's going to try to use the time, and it's going to backfire, and I think that's how he's going to lose it.
Okay, so we got one vote for Vision and one vote for Doctor Strange, I think, right?
No, two
Change,
Doctor
change.
Strange.
Two Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Okay.
Strange.
Two Doctor Strange. So nobody picking Vision so far yet. So we're gonna move over to Renee over here. Renee, what do you think? Who's gonna do first?
I am actually going with Vision. I
Really?
just from this, I'm very analytical when it comes to trailers. A lot of people don't know that about me, but I will watch trailers 50,000 times in a row and try to figure out some sense of the plot. And just something about the way things are structured. To me, let's not forget, Thanos had the Mind Stone already. And to me, he's more concerned about getting that one back before he goes after the Time Stone. I feel like Thanos, it's more personal to get the Mind Stone back first before he goes after the Time Stone. And let's not forget, we're not entirely sure he even knows that the Time Stone is on Earth, but he definitely knows that the Mind Stone is.
Yeah, that's very true.
That is true, and a great point. Okay, so we've got two Doctor Strange and one Vision on this one. I'm of two minds on this one for absolutely sure because he needs them both. RJ's right when he says that he absolutely 100% knows where Vision, that Vision has the Soul Stone, and it's so he knows where that is. We've also seen in the trailers some spiky looking gaff of some type that sure looks like Loki's scepter smashing into Vision's forehead while he's down on the ground. But we also see Doctor Strange hung up by what looks like a member of the Black Order, and trying to fish out where his stone is, or where it is, or what's going to happen with it. But if I'm going to be totally honest, I think Thanos is going for power, and I think that means you need the Time Stone more than you need anything. So I think because no matter what you do, you could lose every battle, and I think we saw a little bit in that one of the TV spots where it was where Tony asked Doctor Strange, well, a bunch of different, he's Doctor Strange does a bunch of outcomes for this battle, and Tony asks him, well, do we win any? So I think he's using the Time Stone to go back and forth to see if a different course of event is going to go. That's why I think Thanos will go for the Time Stone first, go for the Eye of Agamotto to get that stone. But that's that's just our opinion. You guys put some comments down in the bottom of the page here, and you will and give us your thoughts on where you think those stones are going to come from. Let's move on to question number 2. When and where will the movie start? Let's start off with RJ today, but first.
For me, once again, very analytical of all the movies and everything. To me, this is a no-brainer. We are going to start at the end of the mid-credit scene of Thor Ragnarok. We're going to start exactly when Thanos comes up on the Asgardian salvage ship. Rex, like the Russo brothers have said, from the very moment you meet Thanos, you're going to realize how much of a monster he really is. And that's why, for me, the best way to do that is a cold open of just the destruction of all the Asgardian survivors. Seeing Hulk and Thor, arguably the two strongest defenders, helpless as Loki, in a way to save himself, gives Thanos the Tesseract, and he throws Thor to one side of the universe that he ends up back on Earth, throws Thor to the other side where he ends up with the Guardians. I think easily we're going to start right at the end of Thor Ragnarok on the ship. That to me, that's going to be the cold open. Then the actual beginning credits will roll, and then we're going to get Hulk landing in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Nice. That's
Okay.
definitely something. That's definitely a possibility. You know, we were given that end credit scene for a reason. You know, and as big as that Asgardian ship was, you know, when we saw that shadow of the monster ship of Thanos, we knew that something bad was going to happen. But Chance, what do you think?
Now, correct me wrong. This is where like the very first scene in the movie is gonna start, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, I almost went with artist. I thought I was gonna pick up after Thor Ragnarok. After right before Thor Ragnarok, I thought. However, I'm gonna go with a little bit of a wild card pick. We saw in I believe the second trailer, it was a flashback of Thanos conquering a planet. But if you analyze that a little bit, you put together that's actually Gamora's home planet. And that's when he picks up Gamora, to be part of his crew. So I think the movie's actually going to start there. The very first scene of Thanos is going to be him just going to Gamora's home world, taking her away, and then just wiping out the entire planet. Because, like RJ said, the Russo said, you were going to be like intimidated by Thanos in the very first time you meet him. And what is more intimidating than literally destroying an entire civilization of people, which he'd be doing in either of these scenarios? But I think him destroying it'd be like a similar moment if like the Empire started with destroying Alderaan in Episode 4, New Hope. So I think it's going to start with him just going to Gamora's home world and just eradicating that race of people.
Yeah, you know what? That's absolutely not a bad guess either, because we do see all those what we can consider as flashbacks, and we've been told that this is in reality a Thanos origin story. So to see him, to open the movie on maybe just a voiceover of something, and like maybe Gamora talking about something, but I think we need to have Thanos in context first. So, you know, flashbacks are great. I think that Gamora flashback is going to be very, very important. I'm not sure if it starts right off the bat. Mark, what do you think the movie's going to start off on?
I'm for a lot of it. I was thinking the same thing Chance was with right there. Just like, because like you have all these like mid-credit scenes, and then with Guardians 1, more of a factor, but you don't really get the feel for Thanos yet in the actual films, and you do need to. I do think it's going to be like how the first Guardians started out with, taking place in the past, and then you could get like 20 years later or whatever, Thanos conquering and just destroying worlds. And, you know, honestly, it's so hard to say how it's actually going to start off, or who it's actually going to start focusing on at the beginning of the film.
I think it was. I think you're absolutely right. The way they cut trailers now, it's so misleading sometimes. Like, you think it's going to be something, you think it's going to, and it turns out to be a completely different thing. I lean a little bit towards RJ's thinking on this one a little bit, just because, but not quite. I don't think it's going to start off where we left off in Thor Ragnarok. I think it's going to start off with either Thor and the Guardians or Hulk and Doctor Strange.
Really?
Because I think Hulk is going to be used as, well, not Hulk, but Bruce Banner. I think Bruce is going to be used as the herald. Like, he's going to go the trumpeting. He's going to go to Earth and start wrangling all these people. And Thor, we see, is going to be brought back to life, or, you know, whatever, by the Guardians and by Mantis. And then Thor is going to start grabbing the interstellar people and getting them to Earth, or getting them to, you know, wherever Thanos is. But I honestly think that it's going to start off with Bruce crashing into Earth, or finding in Earth, and then Doctor Strange, and now then we meet Tony. And then we're going to cross paths with the Guardians of the Galaxy somewhere in there. I don't know. That might not happen, but...
Can I say something to Chance and Mark? There's only one reason I doubt y'all's prediction, and that is because with the way Gamora is talking, because the only reason I don't think that's where we're going to start is that flashback is because I believe that's Gamora telling Thor who he just met after he talks to the Guardians and tells them what happened. How did he end up in the middle of the space? And that is Gamora reaffirming to this man, like, no, you had no chance against this guy. Like, you don't understand who he is. You only met him for a second. You don't understand who this being is.
Yeah, and because
It's possible.
and because there's no reason to believe that where anybody is where they're going to stay, because the minute Doctor Strange becomes involved, he can transport anybody anywhere, right? So he can transport beings to Earth. He can transport, the Avengers to where the Guardians are. He can move those type of, make those type of moves all over the place. So it's not. This one is probably the toughest of all of the questions that we have for today. Where the actual movie is going to start, but I think everybody had some really good points to make. But it's need to see where it is. 'Cause I don't know. I still think Chance could be right. I think you show up and Thanos comes out of his little portal, all dressed up in his battle armor, looking badass, and then goes in there and wrecks shop on Gamora's planet and takes little baby Gamora by the finger and wanders off. And then Gamora starts telling the story once they've picked Gamora, right? So
Could be it.
anything.
If I may continue on, I'm thinking about it more right now. I'm kind of thinking that how it may happen. You get what RJ was talking about with Thanos attacking all the Asgardians and all that, and then because of their relationship from Thor Ragnarok, Doctor Strange might be able to make an appearance. I'm not too sure how his teleporting ability works. Like, would he be like interstellar, if it will? Like, if he foresaw what happened or found out what happened and he was able to intervene at the last minute and transport everyone, Thor and the other Asgardians to Earth. But I'm not too sure how that exactly will work. But I'm thinking that might how they start off with Doctor Strange and piggybacking on to what RJ said. Is what I'm thinking.
No, you could once again you could be 100% right too, Mark. There's no right or wrong answers until the movie comes out, right? So I think we'll move on right now to our next question. I think this is pretty much the one question out of our entire group that it's going to take the least amount of time to answer, because I think we all know. But the question is, where is the Soul Stone? The only stone we have yet to see that we've yet to see in any of the movies. We have some, there's probably some conjecture at where it is, considering that we know the last act of the movie is going to be placed in this particular spot. But let's start off with Mark right now. Mark, where's the Soul Stone?
Oh God, that's so difficult to say. That I don't want to say it's on Earth, so Titan. I'm pretty sure that's where the battle with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, and they're where in the trailer Spider-Man's jumping rock and Doctor Strange is helping him. I'm pretty sure that's the battle. I'm pretty sure Thanos will probably have it on his home planet, Titan.
All right.
The moon of Titan there.
Okay.
So that's actually just thinking about it now. It's like it's a tough decision, like to think of where it is, and then also trying to make sense. It makes sense for the battle to be happening there. Then.
Yeah. No, that's Mark. That's not a bad pick at all for working. We don't know. We don't know. We got ideas, but nobody knows for sure until it comes. Let's go over to Chance. Chance, where's the Soul Stone?
Man, this is a hard question because had you asked me before Black Panther came out, I would have said Wakanda, no question, because to have that whole connection to the ancestors and they had the whole connection to the ancestors and to the spirit realm. And I think that was Soul Stone was going to go into that, but we found out in the movie that, spoiler, that's not exactly the case. Although it could still be. That's the thing. They could they could be sitting on a Soul Stone and not even know it. I don't even know it. But I'm betting on. I think they may track the souls. Okay, my prediction is going to be a bit of a wild card. I think they track the Soul Stone to another desolate planet, and that's where the whole end climax takes place. It looks like the end climax does now take place on Earth. I feel like what's happening in Wakanda is going to be something completely different, and I feel like the Soul Stone is going to be on a planet that we have not seen before.
All right. You know what? That's once again a guess as good as any, right? All right. I'll go next. My opinion, I 100% think that that the Soul Stone is in Wakanda. I think that the reason why, not just technologically, but spiritually, have those plants that can take away or give the power of the Black Panther to somebody. I think and because the Wakandans are so nature centric, like they're technologically centric, but they love the nature, they love the land. They try not to hurt anything about their lands. What if the Soul Stone is embedded into the rock, or it's part of the land, and it gives the flowers? Because we saw those weird flowers, remember? And guess what? We also don't know. Sure, vibranium came from outer space. We know that, but did it affect the land the way the Soul Stone might? Plus, we have their technological, advancements. Like, they're way more technological than anybody else in including Tony, because we know that Tony gets, a couple of upgraded things, because of vibranium and the technological advancements that Wakanda has to share. So I don't have any doubt whatsoever. I think that the final battle is for that final stone, and I think that's we see commercial trailers, that gigantic battle, and I think that's going to be the climactic battle. So I think it's on Wakanda. RJ, get the last word on this one.
Just like everyone else is saying, this is tough. This is it's hard not to automatically think Wakanda, just because we're obviously going to have a big battle there. Like we said, even though we didn't necessarily see a Soul Stone, there is still connection to the ancestor through the process of drinking from the heart-shaped herb. Would make you think, yeah, maybe it's like embedded, because they even admitted themselves, this meteor of vibranium that crashed here years ago, we haven't even scratched the surface of it. We haven't even begun to touch it. It could be way deep in there and they don't even know it.
Yeah, what if the vibranium was to protect the stone or to keep it hidden from somebody?
Exactly. But then there's the part of me that's like, would we really make it that convenient? Like, it's that part of me that's like, would they really make it that convenient that it just happens to be on Earth? Like, we're literally going to end everything on Earth. Do we really want to make Earth that important? Now, don't get me wrong. Comic books have been doing that for years, been making Earth way too important. But I actually agree with Chance. I think because here's my thing of why I also don't think it's in Wakanda. I think the main reason there are two teams of people is because in the trailer, Tony says we have one advantage, he's coming to us. But I think he also takes that advantage of, like, there are two stones, let's split them up. Let's make him decide who he's going to go after, each of us with our own mission, and we'll figure it out. And I feel like that, like, I'm not sure it's Titan. I still am not completely convinced that planet they are on in the trailer is Titan. But I believe Doctor Strange, using his magic ways, tracks the Soul Stone, and him and Tony and Bruce and Spider-Man and Drax and everyone who's in their little group in the trailers went to go find it. Because you take someone of the mystic arts with him, and still not completely sure, but you might still have the guy in Peter Quill who can handle a stone if they find it, who can at least retrieve it properly. I'm still confused about what happened exactly at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy, whether or not he lost his godlikeness or whatever. But like I said, So I think it's somewhere we haven't seen before, and they're tracking it. I kind of agree with Chance. I'm basically giving the same answer as Chance.
Yeah, I think that with the end of Guardians, I think that with the death of Ego, it also stripped Star-Lord of his
Okay. That's what I was.
powers, but he didn't have, like we don't know what the extent of Star-Lord's powers are yet, and definitely he's been able to handle. But remember, Peter wasn't going to survive holding on to that stone. All four of the rest of them had to hold hands and come together with that one. So it'll still be interesting to see. It could be somewhere completely different. It could be right here on Earth. I think there's a lot of good theories out there. I think that the trailers make it look a certain way. I also think that they make it look another way. So once again, Marvel and Kevin Feige and the beautiful producers and trailer makers make us all wait for that answer, but it's going to be fun to know what it is. Okay, moving on to our next question. Let's go for another tough question here, guys. Who is your number one pick to not make it out of Infinity War?
I like this one.
And we will go. Let's go over to Chance first this time.
I've been thinking this for a while now. I think hands down the person who is not going to make it out of here is Nebula. I think there is Nebula's whole thing that she wants to go kill Thanos, and I feel like this movie you're going to see her show up. She's going to try to kill Thanos, and then Thanos again will like backhand her head off. I don't know what he's going to do to her, but yeah, like there's no. You can't complete that arc. Like her arc is leading to her like going try and fight Thanos on her own, and she's going to die. It's gonna be a heart-wrenching thing for Gamora, and I think hands down Nebula is not gonna make it out of the thing.
All right, you know what? That's such a. I'm just gonna say that's such a ballsy pick, Chance, because if you know anything about the actual comic, and what happens in the comic, that's what you said happens to her. Almost happens to her immediately in the arc of the comic. However, she plays an extraordinary role towards the end of the arc. So I'm not sure if I think she'll be the one that's guaranteed to die, but she's definitely going to go through some punishment. I can almost guarantee that. But good choice. It's definitely a good choice to have. Renee, what do you got for me? Who's going? Who's taking it? Who's getting the axe?
No joke. I'm with Chance. I think Nebula's done.
Wow.
I have all my money on Ev. Like I said, why I said number one is because all of us have our things where we're pretty sure some people are gonna die. But of all the people I think who might get out of there, who do I really think is? And that is Nebula. Just like he said, she has the perfect arc to just randomly show up and try to act all big shit, and to once again show us how heartless Thanos can really be, and just myrtleize her. Just because remember, she betrayed him. Let's not forget that. She's not with a vendetta just like Gamora. They both betrayed him, but she like literally straight up betrayed him face to face with Ronin. So we all know that has it, and we know it's not his favorite daughter. They explored that more in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So, like, I honestly see it as going Gamora trying to convince him to be better with Nebula by her side. Nebula's like, F this dude. And Thanos just takes her out and just destroys Gamora, takes all the fight out of Gamora. And just seeing Nebula just lifeless. So I'm with Chance. Nebula's gone.
Nice. I love how close you guys are to like what actually happens to her. It's so good that you guys are just picking up on that just from trailers. So that's great. Mark, what do you think? Who's getting the axe?
A lot of like what they've said, but like I'm going to go the opposite way. Gamora.
Wow.
Yeah, Gamora, just because like the whole sisterly thing, and she's going to be the one that sacrifices herself instead of Nebula. Just and I think without a doubt that's going to make Nebula a full-on member of the Guardians. Just because like the one thing Nebula's always wanted in her entire life is to be accepted and to have that sisterly relationship with Gamora. And I think Thanos is going to be about to kill Nebula, and Gamora's going to sacrifice herself by stepping in for the bullet. That's my prediction for that.
Wow, dude, that's deep right there. That's nobody's gonna see that coming if it happens. But I respect that choice, man. I'll go last on this one. Who I think is going to die? Who's going to get the axe? 100%. I'm conflicted between two, but I'm gonna have to make a choice, and it's one of the Chris's. But I'm going with, and I hate to say it, but I'm going with Captain America. I think Steve Rogers. I think he's his story arc. Bucky's there. He's now happy-go-lucky Bucky. I think that once his story arc has completed, I think he's going to sacrifice himself like only Captain America could. I think we've seen a little bit of a glimpse about it. In the trailers, Thanos pushes his hands down, Cap grabs it and holds him off. Do we really honestly think that Captain America is up to fighting Thanos all by himself? I'm not even talking about the fact that he's already got an Infinity Gauntlet, which has at least 2 stones and might have 4 by the time he smacks on Captain America. I don't think that he's long for this world, and I think that it's time that I think that it's time, and we're going to see this over the next couple of movies, that we're going to be removing some of the mainstays and replacing them with new versions or different versions of those characters. So my pick is Steve Rogers, Captain America, fighting it.
You said that he's not long for this world. He had a good run at almost 100 years.
Almost 100 years, yeah, no. Yeah.
That was my number 2, dude. That was right below Nebula for me, for like the one who's. I couldn't. Yeah, he was right after Nebula for me. Is Captain America.
I mean,
I would have Avengers 4 coming. I would have said the same thing.
Yeah, if we didn't.
But no, because of the fact that those behind the scene things show him younger and in his old uniform and everything, that's when I think about the time manipulation, and that's why he's gone in this movie.
I also think that if we're
so I guess I'm not saying it's a bad bet. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know enough about Avengers 4. I know that's coming, and I think they're gonna say final hurrah and to the last one, because one of my favorite scenes from I think is the Infinity Gauntlet comic. It's when Captain he's pretty taking on everybody, but then like Steve Rogers gets in his face, which that could happen in this movie. He just gets in his face and be like, "Look, as long as one person opposes you, you can't win."
Yep.
And I love that moment so much, and I hope they save that for the final one. Either way, I'll be happy to get it. But that's why I think he's going to go in the next one, not this one.
It was a toss up between him and Thor, but I thought about it. I'm like, man, did they give him Stormbreaker and then kill him? I think that they save Thor's death for the fourth, for Avengers 4, and Beta Ray Bill makes an appearance somewhere. And,
that'd be cool.
And then
that'd be really cool.
Gifted to him from a dying Thor. But that's just me. That's why I went with one Chris over the other Chris. But we could sit here probably.
Can I throw out another person who I think is definitely a gunner? Loki. I think Loki's dead.
Ooh,
I thought about that early on. That Thanos, once he hands him the Tesseract.
Once he hands that Tesseract, boom, dead.
And then Thanos just ends him because he's like, "You screwed around with me too much, buddy. You should have given me this when you were supposed to give this to me, and you didn't. So guess what? Bang, and you're done."
He did lose one of his stones.
Can I also throw this in as a suggestion too?
Sure.
We finally get the death the actual death of Phil Coulson.
Oh, you think Bill's?
I don't think he's gonna be in this
You
movie.
think Clark Gregg's gonna show up? You should have saved that for your wild card.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you should have saved that for the end.
Pick.
Because that's a
No,
great wild
like,
card.
hey, as someone who watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So.
Well, that'd be, you know what? That's a hell of a pick. That's a hell of a pick for just to come up there. But I don't know if it gives that. I don't know if it gives the that it did, because Phil Coulson dying in the first Avengers movie was one of the most important deaths, I would say, in the whole MCU. So,
Yeah, no. Yeah, without a doubt, it just I was just throwing that out there as okay. We can. Well, I've got an actually good wild card.
Well, save it because we're going to get to that one pretty quick here. All right. Thanks for you guys' picks, guys. We're going to move on to the next category. And the next category is when we first start our prediction. I want a total domestic and worldwide opening.
Oh, fuck!
And that's the
And
full
worldwide?
4-day
Sorry for the
weekend.
cursing.
We want Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday totals. What do you guys predict? I'm gonna go to Mark this time around. Mark.
Okay,
Domestic.
with this, talking about worldwide.
Domestic and worldwide.
Yes. How is it opening up entirely worldwide, like China, Japan?
It opened the same day everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's like that can be a big difference for when you're talking worldwide. But domestic, damn.
4-day weekend. That's all I'm talking about. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, and Thursday? Shit.
It's 2.500. Sorry, 200 million. 500.
So,
For domestic. It's gone.
so 250 million or
Yeah,
250.
250.
250. Okay. What about worldwide?
Worldwide. That's probably going to be out. So tough. I'm going to go 150, and I'm probably terrible at box office. So
So that's
So an extra one.
400.
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably. I see it beating like Star Wars, Jurassic World, and all that the quickest.
Didn't Jurassic World make 500?
Jurassic World did make 500. That would,
Yeah,
Jurassic
Jurassic
World
World made
was
500.
over 500 million opening weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got Mark all locked in for his predictions. We'll see how those go. RJ, predictions, domestic, worldwide.
All right, I'm swinging for the fences here, gentlemen. 275 million opening weekend. I bullshit you not. I think it's gonna destroy Force Awakens.
Oh yeah.
I think it's gonna destroy it. I may be swinging for the fences, but at least I'm not Roka saying 300 million. But 275 million. And I think it will also destroy Jurassic World. Maybe not as much. I'm going 565 million.
Oh wow! All right, that is.
Oh, I did mine separately. I combined mine. So,
We combined it. Don't worry. You got up to 400 million for a 4-day weekend. That's not bad.
Everyone, tell me I'm swinging for the fences. Tell me I'm too hot. I love this movie way too much. But yes,
You're swinging.
275 million. 275 million for domestic. 565 for worldwide opening weekend.
That's some hardcore hitting there, RJ. I'm proud of you. Good for swinging for the fences. Well, we're going to move to the more sensible one of us in this group right now, and that's going to be Chance Ellison. What do you think? What do you got here for a domestic and for worldwide gross?
Okay, so domestic, I'm kind of leaning towards RJ. I think it's going to top Force Awakens, and I'm betting. I'm not going as crazy. I'm not saying 75 like a madman. I'm gonna ride the middle between these. So I'm gonna say 260. 260 opening weekend. And as far as worldwide, I was surprised to find out what the worldwide leader for opening weekends is. Anyone want to take a guess?
It's got to be Force. It's got to be Force Awakens.
It's actually not.
If it's one of the Transformers, I'm gonna stab somebody.
Oh.
It's not either. The highest worldwide opening weekend of all time. I shit you not. The Fate of the Furious. $541 million worldwide opening weekend.
Okay,
it's gonna
this year better beat it.
He's gonna destroy that. I'm
Yeah,
not afraid
and
of mine. I'm not afraid of mine anymore.
I'm gonna go slightly under RJ. I'm gonna say 560 worldwide opening.
All right.
You dick.
Guys, those are not small numbers. Even if those are not small numbers at all. So we end up with me and my predictions. Chance stole mine. I was actually at the 560 mark as well, the 260 mark as well for domestic. But I'm gonna switch it up and I'm gonna say 265 for an open weekend. I'm gonna go 265. You know what? If RJ hadn't come out of the box and said 280, for it, I probably
275. Don't get crazy. I said 275.
I probably would have jumped all the way to 300 million and pulled a Mark Ellis on this one. But I'm gonna rein her back a little bit. I'm gonna say 265 for domestic. But I'm not kidding around when it comes to when it comes to box office overall. I don't think it just takes Fate of the Furious out. I think that it sets a new standard that is everybody's going to be clawing at for many years to come. So I'm saying 600. I'm saying 600 million.
Yeah, it is. I was about to say, if this movie makes 600 million worldwide opening weekend, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm going to say overall I'm going to say 265. 265 domestic, and then whatever else comes up to, it'll be 35 for
300. You're saying 335 million in the rest of the world
worldwide, for a total of 600 million.
Yeah, you are a trooper.
Yeah, no, I'm putting this one out. I'm putting this one out to Titan. So it's going to go up there. Good predictions, guys. Mark, do you want to change yours a little bit around now?
Oh yeah. No, like I'm not good at box office or guessing it, but no, I think it's probably going. I'll go 276 for domestic, and
you dick. Ready me over here.
You just went $1 above your Price is Right score.
Yeah. And for world,
your price is right at the dude. Your price is right at the dude.
Worldwide, I'll go 550.
All right. That's so we're all around the same ballpark, guys. I mean, nobody's out of control, although Mark, pulling that Price is Right on RJ right there. If he ends up winning, you got bragging rights for an entire week, buddy. I'm going to give you that right now. So, all right, we're going to go on to our.
I hope it literally makes like 274 something, just so I can still beat you. Because that's a dick move. I'm sorry. If anybody watches The Price is Right, that's a dick move. That's a dick move.
That's how you win. That's how you get onto the showcase.
And we've moved into RJ's rants for this section of the meeting. No, just kidding. No, good picks, everybody. Those choices are really good. We're going to move on to the last question of the day, and this is our pretty much free, wide open one. I want your guys' wild card predictions. One thing that you think is going to happen in this movie that so far nobody else has said anything, or you've heard it somewhere just off of the cuff and stuff like that, and you think that's going to be a good answer. Just your wild card prediction. What's going to happen? I will start this one off and then give everybody else the last opportunity here. My wild card prediction is based off of something that Chance said earlier, or somebody said something about Loki earlier. But my wild card prediction is that Loki joins the Black Order and becomes part of Thanos' crew. And because he knows so much about all of the Avengers, because he's had his opportunity at all of them, I think that he becomes an invaluable member to Thanos' crew and gives him the inside scoop on how to get to one of these people. So that's my wild card prediction, that Thanos and Loki are going to team up, and Loki's going to become part of the Black Order.
That's true. If that's true, or that ends up being true, then the marketing team did a hell of a job hiding it, because we've only seen him in one shot, one scene. And if that's the case, that's amazing.
Yep. We'll see. That's my wild card prediction. We'll move on to let's go over to RJ right now. RJ, what do you think your wild card prediction is going to be?
All right. My wild card prediction. I had a couple. and now I'm conflicted of which one I want. Come back to me.
All right.
I have a couple.
Let's jump over to Mark here. Mark, let's get your wild card prediction.
Wild card, it's tough to say. It's going for me. It's going to be a return of one of the following characters. Sam Jackson as Nick Fury. We might see in a cameo, by him. Also, a character that I really want to see return because Hugo Weaving did such a great job as Red Skull. I want to see Red. I really, because like he was holding on to the Tesseract and he like disappeared. Like he didn't die. He didn't do
Just
anything.
fell through that hole, man.
Like he fell through a hole and like teleported somewhere. I need to see a return of Red Skull just because like, Marvel has this history of not having good villains. Red Skull is one of my favorite villains that they've done, and I would really like to see him come back. So I'm really hoping for Red Skull.
Nice. That's a great prediction, man. Because you're right. When you watch the Captain America: The First Avenger again, when that hole opens up, it's a hole into space. It's full of stars. It's surrounded by blue and black and stars. So who knows? You could absolutely be right. What if Thanos picked him up and made him part of the Black Order, and he's now somebody else that he's transformed him into? Who knows, right? I mean, or he could just
He went to the space hole.
yeah. So, RJ,
No
needs
knowing where the space hole.
should I go over to Chance? All right, you're up, buddy.
Me?
Yeah, Chance, you-
Okay, so this is a hard one. There are two that I'm debating between, but I'm gonna go with the balls of your choice. I'll give you my conservative one later. My balls of your choice. There is a certain actor who I personally am a huge fan that is in this movie, and we didn't realize it. Peter Dinklage is in this movie.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a role.
Right.
But the question is, like, we don't know who he's gonna play. So my prediction is, and let me bring up the. Okay, I forgot to bring this. So we already know that Thor is gonna go up on his own journey with, I believe, Rocket and Groot. So my prediction is they are going to go to one of the 9 realms that we have not seen yet, and that's Nidavellir. They're going to go to Nidavellir, which is the realm of the dwarves, and he is going to play the dwarf that gives Thor Stormbreaker.
Oh, that's good. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's good.
I literally just came up with that and started rolling the show. But yeah, that's my prediction.
Good.
Although the other one I was tossing, I'll let RJ go first. No, I'll give it to tossing around.
Perfect. All right, RJ, you're up. No backing down now.
All right. Okay. This is a hell of a stretch. But because it might not happen till the second one, but something about it tells me it's going to happen in this one. So you know what? I'm going to swing for the fence again, but this is a way longer fence. I think we will see the symbiote in Infinity War. I believe the symbiote will find its way. He will not become Venom, don't get me wrong, but we will see the symbiote in Infinity War because I believe Spider-Man 2 is going to be his Venom arc. I truly believe that. So I am going to swing for the fence and say that we will see the symbiote in some way in Infinity War.
Shit, dude, that is not a bad prediction at all. It's not a bad wild card spot. We don't know. Something could happen to Peter's suit, and guess what? All of a sudden, this little symbiote just rolls up and fixes the parts of the suit that are damaged, and he doesn't turn into Venom because we all know that he doesn't turn into Venom while he has the suit. It's not for a while before the suit takes over and then jumps over to Eddie Brock. So we could see some version of the Iron Spider suit infused with the Venom symbiote, and just to get him through the rest of Infinity War until Spider-Man 2. So I don't think I think that's great.
I mean, there's a part of me that wanted to save that for 4. But I can tell you this right now. If it doesn't happen in 3, I'm already putting my money down that it's happening in 4.
No, we've got to be.
But I want to take a chance on 3. I want to take a chance on Infinity War.
We got to be aware.
Especially with the Tom Hardy. Especially with the Tom Hardy movie coming soon. That's a big one.
Exactly. So, because we know that 2018 for Tom Hardy's Venom, right? Later.
Yeah, it comes out
this
later
year.
this year.
So it
Oh
could.
yeah, no, it comes out this October.
It comes out this October, so or September,
Yeah.
October, somewhere around there. So they'll have to move, because if they bring, who knows? Like I said, it doesn't even have to be the story arc that they did in the comics with the symbiote. It could just be Peter picks it up on his suit and brings it back to Earth, and it finds Brock. So, and that's how we start off Eddie Brock or Tom Hardy's Venom. But yeah, no, great picks, guys. Does anybody have any secondary moments that they think
I
are
do.
good? Chance, go ahead.
Okay, so this is the other one I was going with. So they talk repeatedly about how we're gonna really get into the meat of Thanos, why he's doing the things he's doing. In the first Guardians, we do see a shot of a large, a large figure destroying a planet with an Infinity Stone. What if that's Thanos' homeworld? And what if that whole event? What if he's the sole survivor of his home planet? And what if that one event is what gets him so obsessed with these stones? So my back prediction was that the whole reason that Thanos is obsessed with these stones and getting them is because he's seen the power of the stones firsthand, and he doesn't want, he's not going to let that happen again. He wants to be the supreme ruler of these stones.
And you want to know why Chance is the man, guys? You want to know why Chance is the man? Because he's not wrong. Thanos' backstory is that he is the only survivor of his planet that destroyed itself. Destroyed itself, and who knows? We don't know at this point what they used to destroy the planet. Could it have been an Infinity Stone? Could it have been the stone that he was looking for in Guardians of the Galaxy? Could it be that purple dynamite stone that destroyed his homeworld?
I think it was.
That's not a bad prediction or a wild card prediction whatsoever, my man. I think that's a great pick. Mark, you got something on your mind?
Yeah, someone also may for a wild card, sure, why not? The backstory with him and Death.
Oh, Lady Death.
Yeah, I think that'd be just like
the reason he's doing it.
Yeah, like one of the me and Chance, the reasons why he's doing it. Just I would like to see Lady Death, so to see if they dive into that relationship.
I mean, that's not so far fetched, because let's not forget the post-credit scene for the first Avengers, where Thanos' herald literally uses the term to challenge them is to court death, which is basically what he does in the comics. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to woo Lady Death. So it's not completely out there. It's not.
No, it's not a possibility.
When people started telling me that was the first connection I made. When people started telling me that, when I started learning more about Thanos, because I don't read comics, I just watch movies and I follow comics as much as I need to understand the movies a little bit deeper.
No, and that was Mark is pretty much playing off of what my second my second wild card prediction was going to be. It had completely to do with Lady Death, but in opposite of what happens in the comic book. Because if you read the comics, Lady Death wants nothing to do with Thanos, and that's what makes him so PO'd. He doesn't want to have anything to do with her. But what I want to see is him get all the stones, hold his fist up, and then look over, and there Lady Death turns over in her cloak, and she dissolves from the pretty lady that she is to the skeletal Lady Death that we know, and she just sort of crinkles up her mouth and smiles out of the corner of her mouth, and Thanos just goes and snaps his fingers, because that's what Lady Death wants. And so he does that, and that's when we have the end of Infinity War.
Who wants to hear my super crazy prediction that I was going to throw out there, but then I was like, that's too crazy.
That wasn't your crazy prediction?
That wasn't. It actually wasn't. My crazier prediction was, if the planet we see in the trailers is in fact Titan, my prediction was that the reason the team goes there is because their plan is to have Doctor Strange try to rebuild the planet using the Time Stone to maybe appease Thanos.
Maybe. That's out there, though, man.
That
That's out there.
Like I said, that one for me was still a little bit too far out there. It was between that one and the Spider-Man one.
Nice. Well, hey, listen, I think everybody's wild card predictions were really good. Anything could happen. They say it all the time, in our favorite, with our favorite people on Collider. It's fun to sit here and conjecture, but in less than 4 days, we're all gonna have a front row ticket to see how this actually pans out. You know what? I want to thank my panel today, Chance, RJ, and Mark. Thank you so much for being on the inaugural Melting Pot episode. We are going to have a good time with these. They're going to be weekly when they show up on the feed. We don't quite know at the moment. We're going to fit that into our schedule somewhere. But you know what? I'm going to give everybody a chance here just to give a little bit of a plug on what they're doing and what's coming up this week. Chance, where can the people find you and what do you got going on?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChanceWars_91, Stardust and Letterbox at ChanceT83. You can find me here all the time. This is going to be our kickoff to our Marvel week. We have Marvel Full Metal Trivia, Marvel Full Metal 5, which I am hosting both of those shows. And I'm trying to get some pretty good guests for those. And, of course, my YouTube channel, Chance the Critic, where I will have my review of Avengers Infinity War.
Nice. Mark, where can the kids find you?
You can find me all over the place. Sometimes Take 3, sometimes here. Worldwide Movie Games, I'm all over the place.
There you are.
But I'm just glad to be a part of these teams and seeing people succeed. But I'm, of course, Full Metal Media.
Awesome. RJ, what's coming up?
What's coming up is I'll be sitting here waiting with bated breath for Thursday night at 11:45 Central Standard Time because that is when my showing of Avengers is going to be. I already bought my tickets. I'm super excited. I literally can't wait. Like, I just want it to be Thursday already, and I'm probably not going to pay attention at all at work that night because I'm just going to be like, okay, have a good day. Enjoy Infinity War. Happy Infinity War Day, guys. Happy Infinity War. Happy Infinity War, everybody. I'm probably going to somehow find a yellow glove and use my Green Lantern rings as replacements for the Infinity Stones and tape them very meticulously to my hand and just walk in there and have people call me out like, are those Lantern rings? Not right now. Shut up. But other than all that nonsense, you can always find me here on Full Metal Media. Obviously, you can find me on Nostalgia Goggles with Jeremy. Shout out to him again. Congratulations. He's getting married this weekend. But we're going to be back soon with that. He's just been dealing with that. So we'll be back with that soon. We're going to try to do something for Marvel Week with Nostalgia Goggles. If we can get it out there, we'll let you guys know because we'll probably want a couple people on there with us. And also shout out to our friends over at Jack of All Trivia. Do not forget they have their Marvel event this week too on Friday. And me and Mark are part of one of those matches for that event. And trust me, and Chance is actually also in that event too. He has his championship match against Robert. Believe me, regardless of Chance's match, you're gonna want to watch that event. With his match and mine and Mark's match, believe me, you're gonna want to watch that event.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Good Joe. Good plug-in, guys. So I will end off our stream today by once again saying my name is Sandy the Sandman Robinson. You can find me hosting on Full Metal Media. You can find me hosting Full Metal Trivias. You can find me hosting Full Metal Callouts. You can see me on Worldwide Movie Games in the tag team tournament, which is slowly but surely getting all finished up, as well as the singles tournaments getting all filled up. Check out Take 3, guys. Take 3 is doing a lot of awesome things. Our own Jeremy, the Adam Adams, is writing a match for Take 3 right now. The Rundown Schmodown.
Schmodown Rundown. Other way around.
Sorry, my bad. But you're going to see a bunch of good stuff from us here. Once again, RJ said it right, and Jack of All Trivia's got some good stuff going on right now. Make sure to go check those guys out. Find us all at Full Metal Media on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on all the nice little places to do. And like always, have some fun and watch. Thanks for going on. Bye-bye.